The first one up, this gentleman right here, I know him for at least 20 years. I have to say at least 20 years. So way back when we were much younger, okay, we already start talking about how to build our future, what are we going to do, how do we conquer the world. We have a big huge dream at that time. So indeed, after the 20 years, I look at him. He has a real estate empire that he has so many agents working for him. He closed a lot of deals to get a lot of deals. And again, he's traveled around the world every time when I call him up, and he's somewhere in the world, whether it's in the Bahamas or Europe, or now when I just talked to him right now, he's actually in one of his Airbnb in the middle of the mountains somewhere. So again, without further ado, I would like to introduce the Casa team, Mr. Rob Chavez and Cherie Warrick. Please, the floor is yours.
Alan, thank you so much for having me, brother. It's always a pleasure to do business with you. Like Alan said, we've known each other for 20 years. And before everybody jumped on the call, one of the things I said was top talent likes to work with top talent. And Alan has always been, over the last 20 years, somebody that I've looked to be able to work with in some kind of capacity. And so when he started building this platform right in the beginning, I remember saying, like, okay, that sounds interesting, but prove it to me, Alan. Like, show me, show me. And he's like, okay, well, just refer a client and let's see what happens. And Alan, you know this, like I'm a business builder. So I find talented people, and what I do is I'm the architect. I put them into roles that I know they will succeed and can build a big life. So one of the businesses that I decided to start was our lending arm of the business, which Miss Cherie, the money lady, actually runs for me. So this is a Cherie client. So I'm not going to steal the spotlight from Cherie because this is all her client. She found the client. And so without further ado, I want to introduce my business partner, Cherie Warrick, who, by the way, just just so you know, relationships matter in this business. Like the way I met Cherie was that her mother did our books many, many years ago when my wife and I owned a property management business, which we later sold, only to restart a property management business again. But it was Cherie's mom that taught us business, taught us about P&Ls, balance sheets, cash flow statements. And so I'm indebted to her and her family because of that. And it's been great to see Cherie now blossom and build a lending arm to our business. And so Cherie, why don't you tell everybody on here a little bit about this particular deal?
Sure, absolutely. And good evening to everybody. So, one of the questions that Alan asked was like, why Sequoia? And Rob has put me in charge. I run the day-to-day operation, sorry, of our lending company. And he's like, I want you to work with this guy, Alan, right? And I'm like, well, okay, you know. Um, and one of the great things that I could say about Sequoia, what Alan said is absolutely true. You don't have to know the guidelines, you don't have to know the details. All you have to do is bring him the loan scenario. And if there is a way for it to be funded, then he and his team are really great at making it happen. So uh, we actually were referred this client by another lender, believe it or not. So don't be afraid to have other lenders in your network. Let them know what you do because sometimes they cannot close these clients and they'll send them to you. Now, this specific client actually came to us because the other lender couldn't close that person for a HELOC that they needed on home. Well, I keep up with people. Another piece of advice is every 3 months, you should be keeping up with the people in your database. So I kept up with her, and she was a chiropractor, is a chiropractor, and another chiropractor is retiring in her building, and she decided to buy that practice in order to expand her practice. And I was the first person that she called. Cherie, how can I buy this? How can I get the money, et cetera, et cetera. And I Googled what SBA loan could we get, you know, because I didn't have to know everything. I knew it was either the 504 or the 7A, but I didn't know which one. I talked to her on the phone. I said, okay, well, we can get a SBA 504 loan. I took some information from her, and the next email that I sent was to Alan and to Sequoia. From there, Alan brought us the solution, which was which was an SBA company. And I can tell you, as somebody who is a loan officer, the worst thing that can happen is you get to the day before closing and that lending company tells you, oops, sorry, turns out we can't fund this loan for you. The absolute worst thing. But one of the other reasons why Sequoia is that Alan and his team do a very good job of vetting the lending partners that we're working with. And immediately after we got the term sheet for this client, Alan called me and said, if they gave your client the term sheet, they're going to close the loan as long as you give them all of the information that they're asking for. And sure enough, the loan closed. The loan closed on time. We have a very happy client who the next day was traveling to Jamaica. But yes, Sequoia works. So that is our story.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Rob and Cherie. And again, congratulations to you. You closed this $1.9 million loan and you do get a bottle of Hennessy and would love to see you in Chicago. Okay?
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank
Alan.
you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, now move on to the next one.